Hi everybody, hello and welcome. I'm still working on my Tim Holtz folio, the one where I collaged the ledger pieces, because I was running out of ledger paper and I thought I'd quite like it anyway. So I'm working my way through this on my own, and then I'm showing you what I've done in this version of it. So the page that we are going to be working on today is, it's beginning to look nice now, isn't it? Lots of interest going on. So this was the from the template, the slimline window template that I made. I made this with you. Yes, I made this possibly on a live, I think. And that was the back of it. I put a charm on the top, and I've just adhered it with the Tim Holtz linen tape, which is this stuff here. I don't think I've got the lid of it. No, it comes in packages that look like this. And I've opted for the floral one, this one here, because I really like it. No other reason. And actually it fits in rather well there, but it's super sticky stuff. It really is, and I have no fear at all that that page is ever going to come off. It really adheres things well, and so now it's given me an extra flip in my flip book, which is great, and I really like it. So that goes there, and then this is the page that we're going to be working on today. It's a die you've probably seen me use before. I really love it actually, and try and shoehorn it into absolutely every conceivable page that I can, although you can't always do that in every project. It's this die here. It's Sizzix Biggs die. It's Sizzix Tim Holtz 664439, and it's called Baggage Claim. And it's these 3 suitcases here, which we'll go on and have a look at in detail how I decorate mine. This I've made, but I'll go through that with you on another video. This is going to be sewn into the centre. This is the one that's got the torn tracing paper in it. I love that page, I love it. So yeah, we'll talk about that at a later date. But this is the page for today. It's got the suitcases, it's got a little label, it's got 2 of the big globes there. This is from the new alphabet die from Tim Holtz, which is called, it's number 665924. And it is called Alphanumeric Theory. And I'm not given to buying alcoholic, I was going to say, alphabetical, or even alcoholic alphabets. Excuse me, I'm not given to buying alphabet dies, because I think they're a bit fussy, really. You know, it takes you as long to place them as it does to, you could have written them or stamped them out or whatever. But I particularly like this one, and I'll show you how it works later on when we get to that. But I have also used that. So the rest of it is very straightforward. These are pieces, the globes and the Call Collect are from one of the ephemera packs or other. I don't know. I've got them all and they're all in one big box, so I don't know which ones they came out of. But the first thing to do is to decorate the suitcases, I think. So I'll just pause there and I'll draw the camera in, whatever you call it, so you can see in detail what I'm doing to these suitcases. So I'll see you in a sec. Right, okay, so I'm hoping now that you can get a good view of what's going to happen. When you cut the Biggs die out, you get your 3 suitcases and your 3 lids. You get 3 handles, but you don't get enough of the corners and the straps and the catchers and stuff. So you have to just run that through another time so you've got enough. But I don't really, if you look at the die, it's got the corners on this one, it's got those catches on this one, straps on that one. I don't really want to be worried about which particular one has which. You know, in fact, I'd prefer to mix them up. So as the long thin one, this one here, probably won't end up with the corners on it. Whatever, you know, however we feel. So let's not be dictated to. That's a bit of the dye. Right, so let's make a start then. And as I say, we're going from white, and this is what we're aiming for. These are 3 that I've already done. So you can see the transformation from the white to these finished suitcases that look suitably grungy, I think. I really do quite like them, and I'd like you to know how to do them, so you have the choice. You could cut these out in coloured card if you wanted to, stick them together, and that would be fine. You know, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. I just wanted to go down the grungy side of life. So I'm going to ink them up, and I've just got a cellophane bag here, just to protect my surface really. And we'll make a start on this one. Now I've got some various colours out. I'll tell you the colours that I used here. That's aged mahogany. This, believe it or not, is salvaged patina. And this is fossilised amber. And yet I think by the time they're aged up, they all look, well, old, not bright anymore. So the colours I've laid out are Festive Berries, which is bright red, Fired Brick, which is gorgeous rusty colour, and I've laid out Shabby Shutters, that might be a bit light for what I want, and Mowed Lawn, which I have never used in my life before, so I really don't know what it's like. Let's go for Festive Berries. It's bright red. It should be, well, it should be fun. Crafting should be fun. So I'm just using these daubers because I haven't got a dauber for each colour. So I'm just using these little finger ones. And these are oxides that I'm using. You could equally well be using inks. And I'm just going to colour that, the whole thing, the whole base, till it's got a pretty even coating on it. I'm just going to get my tweezers to hold on to that, otherwise when it's wet you get finger marks on it, and I don't really want that. I don't know how this is going to age up. It might look nice, it might not. That's the beauty of it. It is just one little piece of paper. Talking of paper, I'm using mixed media paper because I think it carries the ink better. If you haven't got mixed media, it's probably worth investing in some. You don't have to buy expensive stuff. Just we use a lot of mixed media here on the channel, I think. I think this Festive Berries is going to be alright, you know. I think it's going to work out quite nicely. There we go. Right, so that's the first colour on and done. Let me take that off my finger. So the next thing to do is just to ink. No, before I do that, I'm going to do the magic. I'm going to make the magic happen. And for that, you just need water. I think that's upside down there. There we go. Yeah, just water in your spritzer bottle, and just gently, gently spritz it. Like that. Give it a minute to work its magic. So just waiting, and you can start to see it's lifting the colour. And I'm just taking a Timmy towel, a clean piece preferably, and let's just, do you think that's had long enough? Has it had long enough? I don't know. Let's take it off anyway and see. So just absorb that water there. Oh yeah, look at that. That's nice. That's nice. Just gives it a mottled look, and it just kind of ages it. I just want a little bit up there. I'm just going to give it a second to do its work, its magic, And then we'll move on to part 2 of aging our suitcases. Aged valise. I think that's probably all right now. Let's just dab that off, see what we've got. Yeah, it's just mottled. It's just made it look not so pristine. Right, so let's just move those to the side. And now I'm going to spray. And this is a Dilutions. It's a Diane Reevely, does that say? Yes, Diane Reevely. But they're just essentially, they're the same as these. Distress spray stains. So whatever colour spray stains you've got. This one is slightly lighter. It's this kind of colour. So it's slightly lighter than the Vintage Photo. And you just want one little spray onto the cellophane like that. Sprayed myself there. And then you just move that over, spread it around a bit. Let's do the same that way because we don't want big blobs of it. And take your pieces and just dip them in. You're not going to get anything too radical at this stage because this is a light colour. So you'll get little bits like that, just fine. That's great. We'll do the same with this one. Let me just see if I can get rid of some of these bigger bits. Yeah, that's better. Lovely. Yeah, that's great. Let's just wipe that off. And now I'm going to come in with a little bit of Vintage Photo, which is darker. I just want a little bit. Oh dear, my sprays are so naughty. And same thing. Go like that. Go like that, which just spreads it around, makes it thinner. Ooh, got some nice splotches there. And just dip it. Quick dip. And you get these lovely markings on it. You've seen me do this 100 million times, I'm sure. But I just like doing it. It's satisfying. It's immediate. It's instant gratification. I like it. There we are. So we've got those marks on there now as well. Right, that's a heck of a waste of that, but at the moment I don't want it for anything. Have I got any mop-up pages anywhere around? I've got some over here. I just don't want to waste that. Let's just put that onto there. Ooh, that's nice. Blimey, that's really nice. There we are. Woohoo, isn't that nice? Just as an incidental aside. Right, so that's us finished with that. So the next thing to do is darken it round the edges with the ink. Nearly forgot there what I was doing, but I've remembered in time, so we're okay. So around all the edges, I'm using ground espresso. It is, you know, it's one of the dark browns. Should you wish, don't ink it at all if you want it lighter, or use Vintage Photo or tea dye or something, you know. Depends. I don't just sort of want it round the edge like we do when we're making pages for our journal. I want it kind of uneven. There we go. That's nice. Right, so which way does this go? I think it might go that way. Like that, I think so. That looks like it fits on there. So let's stick that down. Then we can move on to the hardware. It isn't a short process, this. So dig yourselves in. It just does take time. So just line those up like that. There we have it. Lovely. I'm just going to go over the edge there, over the top. Right, that's great. So now it's time to start with the hardware. And I'm leaving this here because, sorry if it's shining, it is a bit glary, isn't it? It just makes it easier to ink without getting my board too inky. So I'm just going to start with a handle. It can be any handle. There's 3 different ones. So that one will be fine. And then I have to decide which hardware I want to put on. Let's go easy, the first one. So 2 of those rectangular bits and 2 of the smaller rectangular bits. You'll see if you cut the die out exactly what I mean. There's all manner of little bits that you get. Let's turn those over the right way. I think that's it. Oh, I think that's the wrong way. There we go. Right. So what colour are we going to do this? Excuse me. It might be quite nice in black, actually. Yeah, quite fancy doing it all in black. Well, not all, but some of it. So I'll get my black finger dauber out, and I'm using Distress Ink Black Soot, and I'm just going to colour that in. Just in its entirety. There we go. And then I can pick that up. Yeah, I can pick it up. And glue it and get it glued in place, and that's something that we've done. That's masses of glue on there. I'm just going to pop that there. Like that. Get my Timmy towel, press that down. And we'll work on the sort of lock part of it. So I've got 2 larger rectangles, 2 smaller, and I'm going to make the 2 larger ones black. Spin them round, do the other end. You know, really, to be truthful about this, you could actually cut these suitcases out yourself. They're nothing more than rectangles, and some of the corners are triangles. You know, they would really be possible to cut out yourself. So I'm going to put that sideways on there, like that. Same with the other one on the other side. You wouldn't believe that this started off as festive berries, would you really? It doesn't have that bright red look, although it does have flashes of it, like, you know, like it has been a lovely bright red suitcase at some stage in its life. Let's press those down. And then these, which are sort of like the brass catchers, I think that they might be in something like fossilised amber, or maybe, no, let's use fossilised amber. We can always knock it back with a bit of brown over the top. Just get my finger dauber out for that. This is contaminating itself actually, because just the right way. Because there's black ink on the cellophane, so it's actually not true fossilised amber. Let's put that away, and I'm just going to get my, I think that's my vintage photo one, and I'm just going to, no, there's no ink on it. Let's try this one, which I think is the ground espresso one. Just dirty it up a bit. So it kind of looks like brass that's just not very clean. There we go, that's fine. And then we'll stick those on, and then that's one suitcase down. And they go sort of across like that. Like so. Yep, that's fine. Let's just press those down with a towel. And there we have it. Let me just remove that cellophane so you can have a look. Our festive berries case. Suitcase, doesn't it look nice? I think it does anyway. So we'll pop that to the side to have a think about life for a minute. And let's move on to the next one. So what are we going to use for the next one? How about we use Mowed Lawn? Now I really, honestly and truthfully do not know if this is going to work or not. It's a colour I have never, ever, ever used before. So it could all go horribly wrong. Let's clean this cellophane up and give it every chance. Right, there we go. So let's colour it in. I fear that this might be quite a bright colour, but if you don't take chances, you never know, do you? Well, it's nice and bright. I'll say that for it. And it's also very green. It's a nice green, actually. Might encourage me to use it in other projects. When these finger daubers are new, they, like any dauber, you know, they just don't do it very evenly. That'll be all right. There we go. It'd be all right, I think. Well, let's see what we can do with this one. This will be a test. One I'm relishing, actually. I'm looking forward to it. There we go. Right, that's that one. Put my green finger dauber away. Gosh, that is green, isn't it? That's bright. So I'm going to do the same thing again with the water. I'm going to try and, you know, make it look old. Just by adding a few drips of water onto it. And you have to give it a minute. You know, there's no point knocking it off straight away. You have to give it a minute to absorb that ink and for the ink to run away from the water. If you take it off too quickly, you can always put some on again, but I'd rather just leave it just for a second or two. You can see it, can't you, already starting to work. Okay, let's call that good. Sorry about the muck in my fingers. I've been inking. Oh, that looks gorgeous. Oh yes, I like the look of that. That's really nice. And I think I'm going to do the same thing because it really needs knocking back quite a bit. So I think I'll just move that to the side and I'll do the same. I'm going to get rid of this green here now. Look at all that green. Wow. Because I don't want to contaminate the brown with green because I'm trying to get rid of a bit of green. So let's just put a spray of that down, move it around the cellophane a bit. That's lovely. And just go in and dab. That's not quite nice. I like this green. I think it was either going to be love-hate, to be honest. I was either going to really like it or I was going to absolutely loathe it. I'm trying to stay away from those two big swathes there. That's better. That's quite nice. It's still quite green. It's still very green. Let's try the vintage photo and see what happens. See if we can knock it back a bit. If you're brave, you can spray straight onto your onto your case. It's just I'm not. So let's just pick up some of that colour. Yeah, that's it. That's knocking it back. That's doing its job. Yeah, that's nice. Maybe do want just a piece of darker. Yeah, that's better. That's better. That was bravery, wasn't it? Okay, let's see what other mop-ups I've got here that I can use this on. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, let's clean this off and then we'll put it away and start the construction of this one. Like I say, if it all goes horribly wrong, I mean, if I'd really hated that green, well, stick it in the bin. Start again. It's just literally a piece of paper. So let's go around this and ink it up. I think, you know, like in the 20s and whatever, I think you used to get suitcases. You used to get lots of things, this sort of very vibrant green colour. Maybe I'm just trying to talk myself into it, I don't know. But I think you did. It's quite damp, this paper, actually, after all the inking and what have you. Yeah, that's all right. So which way does it go? Goes that way. Oh, look at that. Whoever would have known that was bright green? Well, us, obviously. No, I like that. It's nice, satisfactory outcome. I want a bit more down there. Right, so we can stick that on. Actually, I'm just going to leave it for a second till it dries, because it is really quite damp. Right, so I think that's dry now. Stick the lid on it. So you've seen how I've added the two different sort of browns, a light brown, sandy brown, and the vintage photo. And so at any stage you could decide not to do that, you know, if you didn't want them quite as grungy as mine. Or, as I said in the beginning, you could do them just out of card. You know, if you had a piece of blue card, you could cut them out, whatever. You don't need to colour them at all if you don't want to, if grunge is not your thing. Right, there we are. So on this one, I think I'm going to put the corners. I'm just going to bring my cellophane back in. Sorry if it's really glary and annoying. So what colour am I going to do the corners? Well, so far I've only done like black and brown. Yeah, I think I might stick with that actually and go brown. I'll go brown. I'm going to use my finger dauber though, because it's better for tiny little things like these corners. I mean, they are minuscule. So I'll just hold it down with my tweezers, colour it up. Oh, they're awkward little things. I've got something on my tweezers. That's it. Go back over, go where you're supposed to go. Right, that's nice and brown, so I'm going to stick that on now. So if we stick them on, as we get them coloured, we'll feel like we're getting somewhere, I think. Way, way, way too much glue. Right. So I don't think on the picture on the front of the dies that these corners went on this suitcase, but it really doesn't matter. You've paid for them, you can use them where you like. There we go. I really do like Big's dies. I will say that. I think they cut better. I don't know, I just like them. There we go. There we go. So that's that one done. Pick that up. Let's glue that on. Put it here. So just place it somewhere near. Then you can go in with your fingers and get it exactly where you want it. Like there, it's good. Pick up any excess glue there might be. So I've got 4 corners. Of course you don't need to do 4, you could just do your top 2 if you wanted to. I've seen suitcases like that before with just the lids done. Because believe me, it is tiresome. Although I must admit, in a weird way I like it. It's kind of like colouring when you're a little girl. I just like it. Find it satisfying. Too much glue, it's floating around. That's that. So the last corner. This is the ground espresso I'm using. That's great. Let's get that glued in place. Don't be awkward all your life. Too much glue, tap some off. Ooh, I don't think this corner. Oh well, it's where it's going. Right, so I've got my corners on. Now I need a handle, and I've got a choice of 2. I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to colour it with the same ground espresso. Just holding it with the tweezers so I can get good coverage without getting too covered in ink or oxide. There we go. Let's get that stuck on, and we'll try and work out what we're going to put for catches or straps or whatever. Put that there. Looks about midway to me. Excellent. Now then, what sort of catch should we put on it? Well, these ones I think they go that way, and then they have a, I think that's that, and then the smaller pieces I think go across there. Yeah, I think that's it. So I'll do these, I think, in fossilised amber, but the cellophane is now contaminated with ground espresso, so that's all right. I'm all right with that. Let's see what's on the little dabber. Oh yeah, there's enough on there. Because of the contamination, it's coming out quite a brassy colour, which is what I'm after. Excellent. I'm just going to dirty that up just a little bit, because why not? Just along the bottom and up the side a bit. Just give it some 3D-ness. There we go, that's great. Let's get these stuck on. So I want the bit that I've just put in and ground espresso on the bottom. Like that. Whoops, I haven't got a good grip of it. There. About there. Yep, and the other one. As I say, you know, it's not cast in stone what you put with what and what colours you use even. So if you're doing this, experiment. See what you've got, which colours you've got, and what you think might look okay. My fingers are so dirty that the thing's sticking to it. Yeah, that's all right. So now I need 2 little cross pieces. That's 1, that's 2 there. And what shall I do then? I might do them in black actually. Bit of definition. Hooray, come back. Yeah, that one. You might can think of a much quicker way of doing this than me. If you do, can you let me know? Although I have been having a bit of a suitcase fest, because I did 6 for the first journal, and then I did 3 in preparation for this, and now I'm doing another 3, so that'll be 12 in total. So that's probably more than most people will be making at a time. I don't know. Let's put that across there. So we've got our, oh, I quite like that now. It's got its hardware on. It looks nice. Let's give that a good press down. There we go. So there's another one to add. So we're just one short now. Slice short of a picnic. Slice of bread short of something. A loaf maybe? I don't know. Right, let's clean this off and see what colour we're going to use for the next one, which is this one here. Right, I think, well, this is looking at me, fired brick, I mean to say, and I love it. I love all the rusty colours. They're my favourites actually. So yeah, that's what I'm going to use, the fired brick. That's nice before we begin to do anything to it. It's just gorgeous colour. Gorgeous. So it doesn't matter really how even or uneven your coverage is, because it's definitely going to be worse before it's better. That one. Oops, didn't mean to do that. There we go, that's the last of our suitcases coloured up. Possibly my favourite. I love it. Right, put that back in there. Let's do the old water trick. See what happens with this one. Oh, look at that. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's too nice for a suitcase. I really love it. Oh, I must think of a project to use this in. It's just fabulous. I'm going to bottle this quite quickly actually and mop that up because, yeah, it looks like a load of ink is coming off it. Bit too much really. Never mind. I could go back in. Yeah, I might go back in just vaguely because that's just a bit too much, I think. Just do a bit of repair. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. It was just too much the way it was, I think. Right, so now we want to put some ink down. Now I've got quite a lot of orange on here. I'm going to just leave that. Doesn't matter really. Little drop of the Dilutions Desert Sand ink spray. Roll that around the paper a bit. Let's see what we pick up along the way. Not masses, it's weird. Not picking up a whole heck of a lot. It's picking some up. I'm going into the thicker stuff now. Yeah, that's nice. Let's do that with this one. Right, there we go. Let's pick that up. Then we'll go into the vintage photo. Ooh, that looks nice, doesn't it? Nice and juicy. Lovely. Yeah, that's good. That's fine. I like that. Let's do a bit with this. Yeah. Oh, yes, it's nice. Yes, I like it. I like it. Okay, let's just spray a bit of water on there. Take one of our background papers. Well, this is just getting nicer and nicer all the time. That's fine. Very nice. Let's just clean this off. There we go. Right, so here's our suitcase. Let's let's ink round it first. That's gorgeous. Yeah, let's ink round it first with my ground espresso. Can't wait to see these all together and see what they look like. I think they'll look quite nice. Actually, I'm just going to wait a minute. It's too damp. It's too soft because it's wet, so I'll just give that a minute. Okay, I think we've dried a little bit anyway. I can't be bothered to wait any longer, so I'm gonna, yeah, they're drier. Drier than they were. So I'll just ink around here. Bring that colour in from the corner. So you want them to look aged. Let's go along the top there. Stick that on. The end's in sight, guys, except this one has got buckles and things, so it's a bit more trickety-dickety. Couple of videos, 3, 4, 5 videos, something like that ago, I asked people if they wanted, were all right with the videos the way they were, or if they wanted them speeded up with a voiceover or music or something, because I am aware that I do long videos. But kindly, graciously, everybody said that everyone who answered, I mean to say, said that they liked them the way they were. And since then, I've just been making ridiculously long videos, so sorry guys. There we are. That's a really battered one, isn't it, that one? Okay, so I've got corners, and I've also got these two things here, which took me a while the first time I used this to work out what they are. They're actually luggage straps that go through that buckle. Look at my hands. Yeah, and they're lovely, they're gorgeous, but they are so fiddly. So let's just bring this back in. Let's do the handle first. I think that might be an idea. I feel like we're getting somewhere. What shall I do? Shall I do it in black? Black? I think so. Why not black? I was just saying to Mr. F there, look at the colours of my daubers, aren't they gorgeous? If I was Andy Warhol, I'd do a silk screen of those and make lots of money. Right, let's do this in black. Back to reality. I think we need black on this to make it stand out, because it's turned out quite dark, this suitcase. Not that I mind it at all. Looks suitably grungy. Let's knock some of that glue off. Right. So that's going there. Actually, I want to put a tag on here. So I'm just going to take some of the glue off on that side. So I don't want it stuck down yet. I want to put a tag through the handle. So leave that like that for the time being. Let's do the corners. I'm going as fast as I can. I promise you, I really am. It's just not a fast process. But I thought you might want to see it. I thought you might want to see how I did these, in case you want to get that. I don't even know if the dye is still available, to be honest with you. Don't even know if you can go and purchase it anymore. It's not that long ago that I bought mine. Well, mind you, time gets away, doesn't it? You think it's not that long, and then you realise you're nearly into August. Where's the year gone? I think Sizzix, according to Timmy, I think they're phasing out the big dyes. And I think it's because they don't go through that many machines anymore. They go through the Sizzix Big Shot, but I think some of the little electric ones, they don't go through. So I think they're sadly phasing them out. Which is a shame. I'd have thought most people have a Big Shot. They're kind of what I think of when I think of die cutting machines. But I also have a little sidekick for cutting little things out. I call it my Tiny Tim. There we go. One more corner. Mr. F, could you have a look and see if you can still get that baggage claim die? If it's still available. Anyway. Do you want the number?
Yes, please.
Hang on. I've lost it. Here it is. It is 664439. Last corner. Hooray, hooray.
It's still currently on amazon.co.uk.
Oh, is it? Oh, good. Will still be around then. There we go. So I've still got that up there.
On the CISIC site it says it's been discontinued.
Ah, right.
And it was released as part of Chapter 2 2020.
2020. Yeah, they don't hang around, do they? If something doesn't sell enough, it's gone. Right, so what you do is you take these... Oh, let me get rid of some glue. You take these buckle parts. This is what I do anyway. And I stick my one prong of my tweezers through that hole that's there, just to make it a bit bigger. Because honestly, unless you do that, you haven't got a hope. I mean, a needle would do it as well, possibly even a pokey tool, just something to make that little groove in it slightly bigger. Got something black on the end of my tweezers. Not that that matters. And then these two bands fit through them, and I'll show you how in just a moment. What colour do I want to do these bands in? I could do them in black, or I could do them in brown, couldn't I? Have I got a brown out anywhere? No, let's have a look for a brown. I've got the ground espresso out. What am I talking about? Let's do it in that. Put the black away, get the ground espresso out. Yeah, so I know that some of you will like to see just a little bit of detail of how a page comes together, but I'm hoping that there are some of you that like to see the whole page, warts and all, and just how long it takes to put a page together. Right, so there we are. So now I need to work out what colour I'm going to do these, and I think I might go back to the old favourite of fossilised amber, because like I say, I like this kind of brassy look that it has. And bring those onto the inking area, otherwise known as a cellophane bag. Right. If you can hear that noise, it's Bobby. He's asleep. He's doing very well after his operation. And there we go. And I just want a little bit of black, which is probably enough on the dabber, without going into the black again. Yeah, that's fine. That's great. Just to take the brassy look off the brass. Doesn't make sense, does it? Right, okay. So now the fun begins. You have to pick this up and the lockified bit and go up behind it and get that through there. And it is a bit of a fiddle. I think I need to make that slightly bigger to be in with a bit of a chance. I mean, the pieces themselves are tiny. The aperture's tiny. even the mixed media card wants to bend. Let's just see if I can do that. Go on. Oh, I've got a little bit of it through. Then I dropped it. That probably didn't help. I think I can probably pull that through. Yeah, there we go. There we go, there we go. Yeah, that's that. And that's how that looks. Just one more to go. So I'm making that kind of much bigger really. And I'm trying to pull it out if I can. So I can thread that through. Look at that. Effortless. What are you going on about? Okay. Let's just clean that off before we put it away. So these need to go onto here. And I want the buckling bit over where the lid joins the thing. So like that. They're too wide because obviously they weren't designed to go on this suitcase. But that's fine. It doesn't matter. We'll just chop a bit off the top. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue down there. Stick that down. A bit of glue on the rest of it. And pop that in place. Like that. Lovely. It's the detail, isn't it? It's all about the detail. And I'm quoting now. Guess who from? Yeah, Timmy. I don't know why I put glue on there. I don't need glue on there. There we go. Just going to hold this with my tweezers, just makes life a bit easier. Yes, he's always saying, when he's looking at makes from his makers, he's always saying it's all about the detail. And it truly is. I mean, the makes his makers come up with, they're just brilliant. Let's just pull that down just a touch. To there, yeah, that's fine. Lovely, press that down with a towel. I can't press it down with my fingers anymore because they're too gluey. Put the lid on the glue and then we can trim that off on the top where the straps were too long. Just ink it where we've cut those off. Lovely. So that's 3 suitcases that we have achieved. So let's have a look what we've got. We did the whatever colour that was, rusty, no, fired brick, that one. We did the mowed lawn and we did the candied apple. Look at them, they're gorgeous. Then this one was the aged mahogany, this one was salvaged patina, and this one was fossilised amber. So those are our 6 suitcases to go in our page. And I think that they look quite arresting, really. I do really like them. They need a bit of a chop and a change because this one and this one are the same size. So I'll chop and change them around. But I quite like the colours the way they are. But you'll have to excuse me for a minute because I've just got to go and wash my hands. Okay, so that's our suitcases done. That's a big chunk of the page done. But you may recall I said I was going to put a label on one of them. And I want to tie it on with this. This is the string that comes with the salvaged labels. Is that what they're called? Salvage tags? Whatever. It's lovely. It's the right thickness, but it's the wrong colour. It's too cream. It wouldn't go with the rest. So I need to colour some of that. I've got this tag that I want to stamp onto, but once again it's too cream. And I've got the all of my letters for the word baggage, and they're done in white mixed media paper. So I need to think about how I'm going to colour these and what I'm going to colour them with. Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? I don't know the answer. However, I do know what I'm going to do with the string, so let's do it first. I'll just get the cellophane out again. And I just want some black, like that. I might just add a little spray of the vintage photo. Bit of water. Get my paintbrush and just mix that up a little bit. I'm going to do quite a bit of this because I can't see me ever wanting to use it in that creamy colour that it's in. And I'm just going to put that in my hand. I don't know why I bothered washing my hands because they're just going to be filthy in a minute. Just dampen down that string so it's all nice and damp and receptive for our ink. And just stir it round till it's all gone some nice grungy kind of colour. Let's just check. Yeah, that's all right. That's okay. So let's get that off there, put it in some tissue and try and dry it out a bit. I don't really want to get it on my hands, but I don't think there's much choice. So I just squash it in there and try and dry that out a little bit. See, it doesn't hold on to the ink, but it does dirty it down a bit, which is fine. That's the main thing. Right, great. So I'll just leave that to dry. So seeing as I've got this really grungy sort of colour, I think I'm going to use that to my advantage for the label, the little tag. Yeah, that's fine. And the alphabet letters. So I'll just dump all of them in there. I think they'll end up being a reasonable colour. Can always add bits of ink over them if not. But I think they'll be fine. I'm just using the word baggage because the die is called Baggage Claim. So I just thought I'd use the word baggage. You could use luggage, suitcase, valise, collect, all sorts of things. I need another one of these for there. That one's okay, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So let's mop up what we've got left and dry these out. So that's a kind of really dirty brown, that, which is good. Lovely. I'm probably going to have to put them onto there to dry, I think. Some of these might need a bit of additional ink, but they might not. We'll see. We'll leave them till they're dry and we'll see what they look like. That I'm going to stamp on, and these two things that go under the A's. There we go. Let's just wipe that off. and give them a bit of a dry. Right, okay, they're dry now, I think. Heated my mat up as well, which I didn't mean to do. And I want to stamp on here, on this little tag. So let's have a look and see what's available. This is the no, that's not that one. This one. I got this from Ali. I've no idea whose stamp it is, or I've had it for ages and ages. But it's got some tiny little words on it somewhere here. It's got photos, date and voyage. And I'm wondering if I can get voyage onto there. I don't know, might be a bit big. I'll put it onto a block and we'll see just how big it is. Let's ink that up. Stamp it onto here. Don't know, it's hard to tell, isn't it? Is that going to fit on there? Yeah, I think it might. I'll have to be really careful with it, but I think it might. Which way does it go? That way. Wow, be careful. Yeah, did it. It did it. Brilliant. So let's put that back, because that would be very easily lost, I feel. Put the stamp away. Put the stamp away. Lovely. Right, so I want to put that onto one of the suitcase that we left, which was this one, I think. Yeah. So I'm just going to thread some of our grunged up thread through it. Like that. And just leave enough for me to tie. But I'm really awkward at tying things, so I'm going to have to leave probably more than you need, if you're any good at this. No, I'm going to have to leave even more. I am pretty rubbish at knot tying. Unless, of course, you don't want a knot in your thread, then I'm pretty good at that. There we go. Lovely. So just pull the ends tight. Trim them off at uneven lengths. Save the bit that's worth saving. And let's see if we can get this onto here. I'll probably need to ink the back. Oh no, it's going to get stuck down, so we're all right. And that needs to go on there. Should have thought about this. Should have thought about this first, really. Let's pick this up with our tweezers. See if I can get that through. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I absolutely can. So pull that down to where it's going to. Like that. Excellent. Now let's stick the handle back before that comes off and makes me do it all again. That's loads of glue, but I'll mop it up with the towel. There we are. So we've got a little tag on there, and when we've stuck them all into our thing, then I'll stick that down on, onto the next one down so it doesn't move. And it's just a little detail. It's just a little detail, but I think it helps to make it look good. Right, so now we've got these alphabet letters. and they look a little bit plain. So I don't really know what to do about them, to be honest, but I think I can see ink in my future. So I'm just going to take them, and I'm going to take my black finger dauber, and I'm just going to try and just catch the bottoms, just like that. That's the plan. And these little bits that go under the smaller letters, well, they're going to be all black, I think, pretty much. So hang on to it and just come up from the bottom a little bit, like that. I quite like that now, actually. Looks like somebody cared about it. It's a bit of a page and a half, this one, isn't it, really? But we'll get it all done today, don't you worry. There's a fly on my arm, the cheek of it. Wouldn't do that if Catkin was in. Catkin would have had it. Last letter. There we go. I think that'll be fine. It'll just add just enough to it to accentuate the fact it's there. Right, then. Is that everything? Feel like it should be everything. Well, no, nearly everything. We have also got on the page these two globes and a call collect sign. So for these, I just want to take my brush and my cellophane, which is here, and just go around these and really darken them up with ground espresso. Where are you? Here you are. Because these are really quite bright, and I don't want that. So I'm just going in from the edge, really darkening these up. Now I've got Brave, I can come in a little bit more. I want to leave the centre quite bright, just to make it look more 3D. There we are, that's one. Bob's walking up, can you tell? He doesn't even know what he's barking at. There we go, I think that's good for those. And the call collect one, I just want to go around the edge. Just take that white edge off, that's all. And then it really is just a glue 'em down job now. Okay, fabulous. Right, let's put the alphabet over there where we know it's safe. Let's get the journal out that we're working on. That was there. And get these stuck in. So, let's just have a little look. What order we think we might want these in. Well, first and foremost, these go in the back. So that goes like that, and that goes... Is that the right way up? No, it's upside down. The world moved for me. So that there and that there, like that. And I think I can pretty much stick those down actually. Just make sure that I'm not over onto... I'm on top of the tape, but I'm not onto that page. It can still move freely. So let's stick these down. So I can tell you that I posted my photo of this on Instagram last night when I'd finished the one in my journal, and Timmy liked it and commented, so clever, and then put it in his story. So yeah, the head was big last night. There we go. So I'm just trying to get the equator lined up, you know, as it should be. Just seemed suitable that these globes were in behind the suitcases, because, you know, travel, etc., etc., etc. There we go. So same thing, make sure it's the north's pointing up and your equator is fairly horizontal. I could probably do with being over a little bit, to be fair. Over about there. Yeah, that's fine. That's good. Right. That equator is not horizontal. Not by any stretch, and now I've got no glue left. So I want this a bit further over that way, actually, about there. Equator, horizontal, yes. Right, that's it, good. Stick that down. So now we've got the matter of the suitcases. So what do I want where? Well, I quite like that. I like them all, that's the problem. Oh, I don't know what order to put them in. Let's put that there. And then maybe the red one with the label on it. Or fired brick, I think that might have been actually. Then a green one. Green one turned out really nice actually. I'm staggering them in and out a little bit. Then this one. This one. No, those two colours are too similar. Pop that one there. That's my favourite, the fossilised amber, I think. Although I do like the salvaged patina as well. Yeah, that's fine. I think they look quite nice there. And then when that's closed, you can still see them. It's still, ooh, what's there? You know, I want to turn the page and see what it is. So let's start from the bottom and glue these in. Okay, so I'm going to have that right up to the edge and right on the bottom of my ledger paper, which is not the actual bottom of the journal, just the ledger paper. There we go. And I'm going to just work my way up, butting each one down on top of the one beneath it. And just moving them along so they're not all touching this here. I can't wait to see what you do with your, if you have your suitcases or whatever you choose to use instead of the die. As I said, I'm pretty sure that if you really wanted to, you could cut these out by just drawing rectangles, because they're not difficult shapes. The most difficult probably would be the handles, I would say. There we are. Now they start to go over the globes, which incorporates that part of the page. Second last one, the one with the label on. And for the label, I just want to put a bit of glue just down the centre back and stick that down, probably there. That looks good to me. Yeah, that's fine. I just don't want it being loose because I fear that it would get bent. It's quite thin. Well, it's paper more than card probably that I cut it out of, and I think it would, if it was just moving around independently, I think it would just get bent. But I like that it says Voyage. I'm really pleased that stamp was the right size. There we go. Let's pop that there. Right, so now we've got what should be a relatively straight line here, and I'm going to put the word baggage just resting on top of there. That's the plan. So let's start with a B and some tweezers. So just put that up to there. I'm just going to put the little, one of the little underliney pieces for the A. There. It is a tall, thin alphabet, this one. Let's see if I've got that at the right height. Pop that there. I think that's okay. Might need to come down a little bit. Down to the bottom, I think. That's where that needs to be. And then this needs to come down a little bit to there. Yeah, that's better. That's straighter along the top, I think. Yeah, okay. So now a G, one of 3 G's in the word baggage. So I'm not leaving very much room between them, between the letters. It's not super noticeable, this, but it is there, and I like it. I like it just as it is. So another A malarkey. You can put these underlined bits on any letter. I just thought they might look quite nice on the A's. I can tell you my neck's getting sore from all the bending over, and I've still got to do the prep for tomorrow's live. It might get left till tomorrow morning, I think. Go on, go where I want you. Thank you. Right, there we are, baggage. So we've just got the call collect to put on. And it just sort of wants to go there, really. Just like that. So like you're calling to collect your baggage. There we go. That's that. Okay. And there we have it. There is our page. So I hope you think it was worth the effort. I know it's a huge investment in time and effort, but I'll just ask Mr. F if he can just pull out a little bit and we can have a look at that. The page in its entirety. Hopefully everything's stuck down. Lovely, that's great. So there's the page. This is the page before it, and I think they all sit really well together. And we've still got, you can still see the arrows from the front flip, this flip with this lady and this arrow. So it's kind of steering you through almost a journey, I think. I just feel like it's taken on a travel sort of theme. But this, on the other one, which I don't know where I put it. Oh, here, it's right in front of me. Yeah, that's the ones I did yesterday. They're a bit brighter. I felt a bit more grungy today. It's got this, which is one of the file folder templates out of my template set. And it too, it's got the, you know, special handling and luggage and whatever. It's just got that feeling to it, claim check. So that will be the next video, or even the live tomorrow, how we make that. And, you know, we're making progress. We're really getting through the book. So I hope you enjoyed that, or at least I hope you learnt something or had something to take away from it. I'm thinking this baggage needs something done to it because I like it in the background, but I don't want it quite that far in the background. So I might just, well, I don't know what I'll do. I'll come up with something. I'll let you know next time I see you. So thanks for grinning and bearing it with me. Well, you probably were bearing it with me. I don't know if you were grinning or not. But I think, yes, it takes ages, but isn't it worth it? It's fabulous. Love it. Okay, so I'll see you again very soon. Take care now. Bye.